Spirit Sports Consultants presents
NFL Week 6, our picks for all games. Look at these matchups for this week. Commanders and the Ravens are the headliner. We have Bucs and Saints. We're going to start off here with the Detroit Lions at the Dallas Cowboys. And when you look at this game, Cowboys were great at home last year, but have not been nearly as dominant at home this year, getting beaten badly by the Ravens, losing to the Saints. But in this game, we're going to focus on one specific area, and that is rush offense. We think the Lions will be able to run the ball on that weak Dallas rush defense, control the clock, keep Dak Prescott off the field, and ultimately win a close game here, kind of taking out the Dallas home field advantage and winning the game 24-21 on the road. Tough road matchup. We like the Lions in this one.
And before we continue, if you would, just join our channel, and if you like this video or find it useful, like it and then subscribe. We provide weekly NFL picks, highlights, and sports travel. Thank you.
Bucs at the Saints. Both these teams have had tough losses at Atlanta. The Buccaneers probably the most heartbreaking. It came down to the last minute. They couldn't protect the ball, fumbled, gave the Falcons that one shot, 1 second left for that 50-plus yard field goal to tie it up. Then they had the ball first in overtime and won it. We think this one, we like the Saints narrowly, but we'll focus here on the high number. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, so we want you to take a look at the over. Not sure what that line's going to be, but anything in the maybe mid-40s, high 40s, take the overplay here.
Cardinals to the Packers. We like this matchup, but we think the Cardinals might have exhausted their upset capabilities with that upset against the 49ers. Really impressive that they did not give up after getting down double digits in that game. Packers only beat the Rams by, 5? But they should have won by more. Love throwing that ball, that pick six out of the end zone. Clear mistake. That's kind of a rookie mistake type play he rarely makes. We think they come back here and take care of the Cardinals at least by 7, 28-21.
Atlanta at Carolina. And then when you look at this game, sometimes you have to look beyond the obvious. Obviously, the Falcons are the better team here, right? 2 great wins over the Bucs and the Saints. But we view those wins as very suspect. We think they were lucky wins. The Bucs fumbling the ball as they could clinch it. We look at what the Panthers have done since Andy Dalton's taken over. Yeah, they're not stopping people, but they're putting up a lot of points. I think that continues. We like the high-scoring game here, 28-24 over the Falcons.
The Bills at the Jets, and we had been looking forward to this game for quite a while. Now we're not sure what the status of Josh Allen is going to be. It looked like he suffered a concussion. We haven't heard any reports to that effect, but watching that Texans game definitely looked like there was something going on there. Then Aaron Rodgers, really, that game, the upside for the Jets in that loss against the Vikings would be that they kept Sam Darnold in check. They really made him look ordinary. I don't know if that was his fault. I think it was really the Jets' defense. We like this setup here also. This is going to be Buffalo's 3rd road game in a row, having to go to New York to play. Very tough. We think Aaron Rodgers bounces back. We like them here, 24-21. Bengals at the Giants. When we had originally looked at this game a few weeks ago, we thought this might be a spot the Giants could surprise the Bengals. Well, there's not going to be a surprise here. We think they use that up on the road at Seattle, likely come back home for a little bit of a letdown, whereas the Bengals are going to be really, really upset letting that game slip away like they did. We had the Ravens winning, so we appreciate that, but we really think the Bengals outplayed them and had that bad luck, the botch snap, hold, whatever caused it, missed field goal, should have won the game there. We like the Bengals here, 2017. Browns at the Eagles. And look at this survey we did a few weeks back. Most overrated, overpaid quarterback in the NFL. Deshaun Watson won, going away if you call that winning. And what he did yesterday in the game against the Commanders, apparently giving up on the play, telling the head coach he didn't want to run a play. Very disappointing, giving up on your team. The Eagles also have some dysfunction with injuries at the wide receiver position, so we think this will be a low-scoring game. We like the Eagles here ultimately to win it, 21-14. There are no moral victories in sports, but if you had to take one, we think Joe Flacco and the Colts' performance against the Jaguars in a losing effort was one of the most impressive losing efforts of the week. We think Flacco should probably be the starter. We think Richardson needs a little bit more time to perfect his passing game. We also feel the same way about Mason Rudolph. We think he should be given the starting position over Will Levis, who is just too turnover prone, and I would say a little too immature with his decision making. However, in this game, we like the Titans to win it 24-17 over the Colts.
Texans at the Patriots. We always admit we are Texans fans, 2 of the 4 of us here, so we have somewhat bias. But we have to admit, as fans, we don't think the Texans are as dominant as people were expecting them to be coming into the season. Part of that was Joe Mixon's injury. We think, again, at New England, they are a far superior team. I think New England's going to slow them down a little bit. A really good pass defense. I think the Texans win, but it's close, 21-17.
Jags at the Bears is another London game where there could be some advantage for the Jaguars since they play there at least once a year, seemingly every year that I can remember since Lawrence has been there. But the performances yesterday by both these teams were very impressive. We really love what the Bears did with the Panthers. Panthers are a weak team, but they have been playing better lately. They beat the Raiders. Andy Dalton have been performing fairly well, but dominating performance on really both sides of the ball. We think that continues here. We like we saw from the running game, the defense, and Caleb Williams shows that improvement that we'd like to see from a rookie quarterback. Chargers at the Broncos, and Bo Nix has had two really impressive performances in his past three games. All three games have been wins, two of which were on the road. Very impressive for a rookie. Got Justin Herbert coming in with that Chargers team. We like what they're doing running the ball. Very good balanced offense. Herbert's always a threat. We like what Harbaugh's doing, balancing out that team. But look at this. These two actually met when Bo Nix was a freshman at Auburn. My son was a freshman at Auburn at the time and got the better of Justin Herbert in a neutral site game against the Oregon Ducks. We think in this case, however, we think the veteran's going to have the advantage. I think Herbert and the Bolts coming in, especially being fresh off the bye, we think that gives them the advantage here as we like the Bolts winning this one 24-21 over the Broncos at Denver.
Steelers at the Raiders. We were really leaning towards the Raiders in this game. We look at all the disruptions going on with the Devontae Adams trade request. Even some of head coach Antonio Pierce's comments seem fairly negative, as opposed to Tomlin, who always seems to find a way to win. This is a team that's generally less talented, their opponent, but my God, they find a way to pull it off. I mean, the defense is unbelievable, but offense, they just kind of scrap it together. Even with, I'm not going to say no names, but not a list of stars compared to other teams. They just win. So we like them here even on the road against the team we'll describe as dysfunctional right now, the Vegas Raiders.
49ers at the Seahawks, two teams coming off inexplicable upsets. How did the Cardinals beat the 49ers there at the end? Really sloppy on the part of the 49ers. Not sure what happened, but the Seahawks, watching that game, that had to be the weakest performance of Week 5, no doubt. They just did not show up. We're not sure if this was a look-ahead game. Looking forward to this Thursday night matchup against the 49ers. We don't really like either team in this matchup. We have to pick it. Our picks for all games, we're going to go with the home team here, 24-21. The one edge we see for the Seahawks, 49ers lost their kicker. That's going to be ugly trying to convert field goals in that game.
Commanders at the Ravens, and we kind of make fun of some of these analysts who look at all these trends and all that, but here's one trend you can't ignore. Lamar Jackson is 21-1 against the NFC, simply because they're not ready for that speed, that explosiveness. But then you look on the other side, Jayden Daniels might be the new Lamar Jackson. We think he's the best of the rookie quarterback class. We said that all along. So in this game, and look at the score we've predicted here. Yeah, we have the Ravens winning narrowly because this is our picks for all games. That's the name of the video. But we love the over here. And watch this closely. We think Lamar is going to be able to just run all over the Commanders' defense, which is fairly weak. But watch what Jayden Daniels can do. This might be a learning opportunity for him. May not win it, but he's going to improve.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.